They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Thunderbirds put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100-plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Thunderbirds offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's an early front runner for MVP in the NFL here in the first half of the season. As you can see, he's a league leader in passing yards at this stage of the game. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 17 carries, 90 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. He's going to try and do this himself. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Glover. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. When you look at this defense, this unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
They spent the week at practice, and we know our rating's not that great.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Carroll. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Looking to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Wood. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll drop to throw. To his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here's Louisville set to take over on offense. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. On 3rd down, Glover. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 7-7, our score after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. As they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they are winners of 2 straight games as they've climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes, because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season that could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Second down and a yard. Up the middle they go. Albert, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and second and 1 is now 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. Passed, and now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Second and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, he'll drop to throw. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his impressive season total as you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes at this point in the season. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. Looking middle, and that's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Room to maneuver at the 35. And finally down at the 32-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. McCrary. And he's got it down to the 28.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Mullins. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McCrary. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back to throw. Mullins. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point attempt to come here. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive goes 8 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. McCrary. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
It's 3rd and 10.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mullins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. And on now is the punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Carroll. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They bring their punter out there now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And they will take over 1st and 10. So here's Louisville set to take over on offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
Looking to throw. Mullins. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun. Mullins. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2nd and 4. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Collins. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Another one caught by Collins.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Back to throw again. Over the middle, complete. That's Collins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He finds his man, complete. That's Carroll.
2nd and 6.
They'll look to throw again.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
That is caught.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Douglas with a grab over the middle. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
2nd and 5.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
A final shot before break. Mullins.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin right here in the city beautiful, Orlando, Florida, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the score line. 21-12, your final score. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And as you see, they were winners earlier this afternoon. 13-6, the final score. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. A 10-point victory in the end. 24-14, the final.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So a 4-point game here as we get set to resume action in this third quarter of play. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. Back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Wood. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw here. He's going to get this one out to his fullback.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. He'll drop to throw. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys have now moved out in front.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 11 yards there, first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
That's out to the left, flat and complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line.
2nd and 10.
Up the middle they go. McCrary.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Back to throw.
Clinton. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down.
It moves to 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake. Clinton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Operating from the gun. Clinton. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wood. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll set up to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Wood. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
And they'll try to run the option here.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. They'll set up a throw. This is caught, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Louisville offense back out now.
They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Clinton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. McCrary. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Let's go now.
Operating from the gun. Clinton. A quick throw, but incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. McCrary. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
The offense on third down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Mullins to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Operating from the gun. Mullins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And his kick here is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Albert, and he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
He'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. It's a big play there on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They'll look to throw here. This will be caught just inside the 10. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Well, the Louisville offense back out now. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
In motion, the tight end. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Back to throw again. And he comes back with one complete.
Here is 3rd and 5.
They'll look to throw again. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
Here we go. This is 4th down.
And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty. And as a result, possession switches hands. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for their strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
That is caught. He's going to have the 1st down and then some.
He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Up the middle. Albert. Now, defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming down play.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break.